And welcome back with the South Orange County Community College District. They have some good news coming your way, and we have Board President TJ Prendergast here today. And you have two campuses right now, everyone knows of those, and you have a third one that is moving forward, and we're gonna talk about that one. But first, welcome. Nice to have you here today. And it's exciting news that this project is going forward here. It's been looked at for quite a while, so tell us about that. We're going to go through some of the slides here and see renderings of it.
So a big part of kind of the delay that we've encountered with the project was land holding. And when you'll see in one of the slides here now, we finally have worked out agreements with the City of Tustin, County of Orange, Department of the Navy, and other stakeholders to have a more workable piece of land where it's not divided up into little chunks.
Right.
It's now one solid shape that we can start working on.
Better.
And so most of the demolition of current property is finished. It's been flattened out and leveled, and we're ready and excited about getting to start the first building.
And for people that are unfamiliar, I know we've talked about this in the past, and here's a slide to show this. This is the Tustin Marine Base, Air Marine Base. They have the big hangars there. The hangars are still there, right?
Correct. They're both still there. One of them has a little damage to it, but they're keeping it around for now.
I know one of them gets used a lot in movies and TV shows and things like that. But we can see in the corner here where the tech center is going to be. Is that Red Hill?
So that's Red Hill on the right of the circle there. It's basically sandwiched between Red Hill, Valencia, which is now a fully developed road, which connects with the new.
Here's a better.
The new Tustin Ranch extension, and then there'll be a new road there on that east side of it. It's called Bell Avenue. When they start building that, so we'll be between Red Hill, Bell, Armstrong, and Valencia.
And if we look over here, people might be familiar with the curved street there. That's a Jamboree, and the district. A lot of people might have been there, where you have all the shopping and restaurants and things like that. They've really utilized this land, and will be. Some of the stuff is not quite there yet, but we can see where the property for now. I always forget what's the whole name of it?
Advanced Technology Education Park.
Okay, and this is a rendering of.
It's a rendering what we envision the campus to look like. There were a couple of different design models that they looked at. One of them being the Google campus. They really liked the openness of it. Real focus and attention on not only having functional training centers indoors, but also the ability to do functional training outdoors. So if you want to do some experiments with things that require being outside, there will be space and availability to do that. So these are just some concepts that people have come up. So you can see there's an outdoor auditorium there where they can do an outside lecture if they needed to. So really excited.
What are some of the focuses on the programs that are gone here? Obviously you hear tech, you're going to things like computer coding and things like that. But beyond that, it's a lot more, right? Right.
So the first building that's going to go up will be housing programs that IVC is going to want to promote there, directly along those lines you just mentioned. More with computer programming, coding, design modeling, both what they call positive molds and negative mold, computer-aided design and modeling computers and machines. The Saddleback campus, as you'll see here on another slide, or the Saddleback building, is going to be more of a simulation training center for health services. So where
so you have different buildings that you're going to call this like and let me stop you there for a minute. Does that mean that IVC will oversee parts and Saddleback will oversee parts, or this will be a wholly separate campus that feeds from both of those?
Both campuses will have buildings on this campus. And so in essence, it's like, for example, the healthcare education building that Saddleback is looking to have there. It's not going to replace the nursing program that is so top-notch already at Saddleback. It'll be supplementing, augmenting that program to give those nurses in training the opportunity to go more specialized simulation and so forth, as well as having partnerships with healthcare agencies that want their doctors and nurses to have the latest and greatest training that they can't offer perhaps in their own capacity.
Okay, so when you get to the point that this is ready to go, classes start to open up. Does that mean that when kids go to sign up for these, and adults,
Sure.
do they first go to the Saddleback site or the IVC site and feed from there, or will it get eventually where this will have its own classes? In other words, will they take like 3 classes down here on this campus and go up there for an afternoon class? Or is that still getting worked out?
The simple answer to all those questions is yes.
Okay.
That it would be a combination there.
Okay.
So there will be an ATEP administration building that someone could come in and say, hey, I'm interested in signing some people up to do this. Or if they're currently enrolled in a program at IVC or Saddleback that requires or creates a need where they go, hey, you know what, I need to take something over at ATEP, they could funnel into it that way as well. So it really is a very diverse situation that doesn't really exist anywhere else that we're aware of.
Because it looks like eventually it's going to be a pretty good sized campus. How many acres is there?
It's, I want to say it's 60 acres total now, which is interesting because if you look at IVC, I think it's on 100 acres and Saddleback's on 200 acres, but the developable square footage that we're going to have at ATEP is 10 times what it is the other 2 campuses combined, because it's all usable space, whereas like Saddleback is very hilly and valleys, and it's difficult to put buildings everywhere.
And obviously there, you're not going to be having, say at Saddleback where you have the golf range,
right? You don't have
and the football field and things like that. So that, I think it's going to be great. What's the time frame of that right now?
Well, again, we're really excited to get this first building going. I believe the presentation we got was looking at 2018 as being it up and running, and then Saddlebacks would be shortly behind that. The timeline for getting it to that fully developed rendering that you saw is probably 25, 26.
Okay, yeah, so that's it's going to be obviously done in phases, and along those lines, added classes and maybe added programs just as needed.
And it's not all educational buildings. Part of the agreement with the City of Tustin is that we can also have partnerships with businesses. So like, for example, you might have medical business want to have operations right there on that campus where they can send their people over to the training center. And then, and then the nurses that are training can then also do internships with that building. So it's a partnership arrangement that we hope works out really well. And then we'll help also with the funding for a lot of the buildings. So it's not all coming out of our pockets.
Well, it sounds exciting, definitely. Absolutely. And looking forward to all that. We always have some nice summer programs and theater programs going on, and you've got several of them listed here. Saddleback, we all know the great program that they have there. And I'm looking at some of this Mary Poppins in concert.
Oh yeah, very exciting. Mary Poppins. Also the Swing Under the Stars, I think, is maybe of great interest to a lot of people, where it's big band, jazz. And you know, the young people are out there dancing and doing swing, and would certainly love to have more experienced dancers come out and show them how it really should look.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I know
and it's free.
It's a good program there. And you're also doing Grease on July 24th and 25th. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Mary Poppins in concert, I guess they'll be doing the music for Mary Poppins?
Correct.
Okay. You're not going to have her
musical
flying
review.
No, I don't. That'll be good. Well, all good stuff going on. I think really once these programs get started, it's just going to create a whole nother area that people can go to and it's needed. We all know how much, when you look at the technology industries and medical fields, a lot of businesses can't find capable people coming out of college for that.
That's exactly.
And so they're looking elsewhere. They're looking throughout the world for that. So to be able to have a center like this right here in Orange County is, I think, incredible. You know, we're kind of the Silicon Valley of Southern California, right in this area. So, great news.
Right.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good summer.
You too.
All right, we'll be right back. And I know we get on.